Afternoon VC. Got quite a bit here this time around, so buckle up. Let's see what we got to start with. I had to pick up a record at Lunchbox. I can't remember. I've been in there probably 3 times in the last week or so. But I found this in the used punk section. It's DOA and their album Hardcore 81. This is a reissue on Sudden Death Records. Talked about this band, phenomenal Vancouver punk from the early 80s. Yeah, and there's a ton of tracks on here. 14 cuts on here, you know, short, get after you, good shit. What a lineup. I mean, great photos, great guitars. Really dig the guitars. Yeah, Joey Shithead on vocals and guitar, Dave Gregg on guitar and vocals, Chuck Biscuits drums, guitar and vocals, and Randy Rampage bass and vocals. Classic stuff. That was super cheap, so I grabbed it, but I was there to pick this up. They had got a few copies back in. Scott was actually surprised that he was able to get some more. That's the new album Comfort to Me from Amel and the Sniffers from Melbourne, Australia. Horrifyingly bad cover art. I can't, I almost didn't want to buy the record. It's pretty awful in my opinion. But similar to the DOA, some short cuts, 13 tracks. Great punk band with a lot of heavy rock leanings. Yeah, man, Hurts. There's a video for Hurts. Probably the best song on here. Guided by Angels is also really good. There's a video for it. I think my favorite cut is track 4, Security. That one's killer. Great guitars. Yeah, the end of the album to me isn't that great. The song Laughing could have been omitted from the album in my opinion, and Snakes is okay. But the first 11 tracks are all great. This is a lot of fun. Yeah, really good band. And it's funny, I posted this on the Vinyl Champions group that Campo runs, and he lives in Melbourne. He's like, it's nice to see Bogans get international acclaim for being Bogans. Yeah, so that's a good one that's been put out this year. It'll be up there in my list. And then on the DOA tip, I had to circle back and pick this up from Sorry State because I saw they posted it. I forgot, and then Richie showed this record, I'm pretty sure, 1 or 2 videos ago. It's Chain Whip and Two Step to Hell EP. This is killer. This is on Neon Taste Records. Yeah, the B-side especially, Blank Image, Up in Smoke are killer tracks, and then Death Was Too Kind is I think it's Subhumans cover song, if I'm not mistaken, and a hell of a job on it. It's got this cool insert here, and there's your lyrics there. And they don't list the lyrics for the last track because it is, yeah, Subhumans from 1979, their song. But there's your pretty cool looking labels. Yeah, one of the better current punk bands going right here, Chain Whip. Good aggressive punk rock, just. Yeah, this stuff, this is getting a lot of spins. I really dig this B-side on this. All right. Next, this came from. Oh God. Ordered it, and I can't remember who sent it to me. Well, anyway, it's Improvisations from Roscoe Mitchell, Tony Marsh, and John Edwards. It's a double LP on Otoraku out of London, England. And this was a live performance. at Cafe Otto in London, March of 2012. This was released later and was dedicated to Tony Marsh, who passed. But yeah, Tony's on percussion and Mr. John Edwards on double bass. Roscoe Mitchell still trucking after the art ensemble days, and this is him on sax and flute, and it's a fantastic performance, and is exactly as the title says, Improvisations. So this is not for everyone. But yeah, really, really nice records. I think that came from Carolina Soul, now I recall. So that's what I had gotten up until last Saturday, and Dylan at Noble Records was having his big 2-year extravaganza with a major drop, and I really had a debate with myself on what I wanted to do, because I had brought in a collection of rock records for trade, and I ended up with pretty good store credit, so there was probably like 20 records I was interested in, but then there was one very difficult to find record, so I had to debate with myself on what to get. And I knew I needed to get down there early, so I went pretty early. I got there at 6:53 a.m. and I was 6th in line. The line, it didn't start and go overnight, but the first they were all young folks in their early 20s and teens that were in front of me, and they got there at 5:30 in the morning, and they were there for the metal, as Tim would say, the metal. So I was safe, because I got up there and I told them, if any of y'all are here for this record, let me know now so I can go home and go back to bed. But I ended up getting Papo's Blues, and this is just, yeah, as advertised by Dylan, this is absolutely killer, from Argentina. This is the promo copy. God, I even forget the year, probably 71 maybe this came out. I could be wrong. I played some of this for my friend Joe, who came into town later that weekend, and I mean, he compares it to Grand Funk. Really digs the bass. This whole band is killer. Just fantastic psychedelic blues rock from Argentina from back in the day, just as good as anything from here. Sung in Spanish. Yeah, this is killer. And a big one now in my collection. It could be one of the rarer, other than my El Saturns, this is probably one of the rare records. So I had to go for it. It was funny. I was still in the shop looking around, and Dylan was like, yeah, 20 people behind you asked about it. So, but I was happy to be able to pretty much trade for it. And congrats, Dylan. I don't think you watch my videos, but if you are, it was a hell of a sale. The line went out to the goddamn highway. Tunes for the Man Cave was in line, just basically 2 people behind me, so I shot the shit with him for quite a bit. He was there for some jazz grails. I think he picked up some for a friend too, but he got all the good jazz grails pretty much that were on the wall anyway. And that wall got obliterated immediately. I mean, it was insane. I'd never seen anything like that. 2 minutes flat, and there was 4 or 5 records left on the wall. There was almost nothing. And it was odd. The 2 Warhorse records were still on the wall on Vertigo, and the Stooges was still there. And I think A Love Supreme, like after the first 2 minutes. So I was kind of surprised that that's what survived, but I don't think they survived the day, because it was wild. It was 8 deep at every single half of a bin. there were people over top of each other's shoulders in bins. Yeah, Dylan made out pretty goddamn good, I would say, because there was, yeah, I still need to get back up there and see what survived, if anything, because there were a few. I was there for a little while. But yeah, so I'll put a picture up here as a thumbnail from that. So yeah, Noel Records doing work as usual. Next, so my friend Joe was in town. I can't remember if we went Sunday. I think we went Sunday to Lunchbox, and he wiped out the jazz section. He had bought a collection, Scott did, from someone that had a bunch of Japanese pressings and other things. And my friend Joe just, I don't know, he probably got 20 records or more. And I only picked up one. As he was flipping through, I saw it, and it's the first time I've ever seen this in a store. And that is the Young Lions on VJ, and I think this came out in '61. Could be wrong on the year. This is early stuff from Lee Morgan, Wayne Shorter, Frank Stozier, Bob Cranshaw, Bobby Timmons, Louis Hayes, and Eller Heath on the drums. A lot of these tracks are written by Wayne, and some are written by Lee Morgan. One by Bobby Timmons. Really good early hard bop. And these guys really coming into their own, you know, early on, especially writing their own material. And yeah, this is not, you know, very, and it's an original mono, and it was $15. So I don't know what happened there, but very stoked to pick this up. The liner notes are from Cannonball Adderley, really good liner notes, you know. So yeah, VJ, not always the best sounding records, but kind of rare, very cool. Let's see, next, this arrived in the mail. I've been waiting on this for quite a while. This is one of those pre-orders. That's from Daniel. He used to do VC videos. He doesn't anymore, but he's still active in the Vinyl Champions group that I'm in. But this is his album, Erison, or, well, I'm not sure how to say it, but from Blame Flyles. Fantastic record again. This is the follow-up to Chimerical. In a similar vein to that, I like Chimerical better, to be honest, but this has some great tracks. Evanetude Marbles, the opening cut, is phenomenal. It reminds me of Clark a little bit. Track 4 is the best track on the album. It has like 4 parts. And this is more electronic from Daniel. I have his stuff filed in jazz because the first few albums had more jazz leanings. But this stuff is electronic. There's one of these songs in here is a straight total dance number, like techno. I could totally hear this being in a club in Sweden, where Daniel's from. But yeah, track 4, Don't Kill Me, Feeling Like That, Calm Yourself and Smile. Basically, those 4 phrases describe the 4 parts. Track 8, Pool Frost Phantasma, is pretty cool. And then the last track is the only one that's just not him playing everything, and that's Yuki Kensho featuring Mirth van de Wiedering, and she plays violin, and it's just a beautiful end of the record. So another great release from Daniel. Hizzleclint and Blameful Isles. This was put out by Urban Waves and shipped from Belgium. They do a pretty good job on their packaging, I'd say. Got here pretty good time. Let's see, next. Got this from this little shop right here, Permanent Records out in LA. I get a lot of stuff from them. It's just how it goes. They always have killer shit. But this is 7-inch the X 6.3. There are 6 in the series. These are from the early 90s. This has just got 2 tracks. Track 1 is Cold Winds Are Blowing, and track 2 is She Said. The side A track is phenomenal. Sung in Swedish by the drummer. Really, really, really good punk rock song. Love the guitars from the X. And the B side is She Said. And I need to get them all. There is a box set. It's very expensive. I know Roger Coleman said he's got that box set. One of his bands from back in the day, I think he used to live in the Boston area, actually played and opened for the X, which is really goddamn cool. I saw this band in Barcelona in 2014, and they were one of the best bands of the day by far. But I'm going to try to pick up all these 7 inches because they're really good, really cool. I got another one on the way, actually. Here's the label. It's a 6.3 and really cool. The X label. Great punk band from Amsterdam in the Netherlands. One of my favorites. Anything I come across from this band, I'm going to pick it up. Anything. Next, this arrived from Alex Motor 247. He'd been selling some of his collection. I love this pianist. This is Jan Johansson from Sweden, and this is Jazz Pozvenska. An original, I think, stereo pressing on Megaphone out of Sweden with a nice tip-on jacket. Spun this. It sounds really good. Probably VG plus, VG around there, and real basic stuff. It's all in Swedish in the liner notes, and I didn't do a lot of research on this, but to me this is probably older Swedish folk songs and his interpretation of them, because it's just him on piano and George Rydell on bass, but George is not featured on every track. The tracks that George is on the bass are fantastic. So yeah, like the opening track is really good. Track 4 I really dig on side A, that's got George Rydell on bass, probably my favorite on the album. And then the B side, real basic stuff, the first 4 tracks, but the last 2 also feature George Rydell again. Actually tracks 4 and 5, excuse me, and are it's just better stuff when George is featured with Jan on this. But yeah, kind of I don't know, makes you think of walking down in a deserted road in Sweden, I would say, I guess. I don't know. If I lived in Sweden, I might know more about these songs. I have a feeling they're been around a long time. But great pianist. Good album. Had missed out on getting it a bunch of times on auction, so that was cool to pick up. Alright, last but not least, I went into Lunchbox to pick up one record that I ordered that both Dom and John, Digital Gramophone, had recommended. And of course, I dug around the new arrivals, and so we ended up with a whole bag of goddamn records. And I didn't want to do it. And it's what happens when you go to Lunchbox. It's throwing my whole week off. So we're gonna do the old what's in Dave's Lunchbox red bag. So here we go. First up, he's got a copy of DJ Shadow's Introducing on order for me, the 25th anniversary audio file, whatever, half-speed master, whatever they did to it. Because I don't have it on vinyl. I've always just had my CD because it gets a lot of play in the car. But they did release kind of a 7-inch promo from it, which is just a money grab, but whatever. So the Introducing 7-inch, which has on side A the Number Song, which is a Cut Chemist mix, which I think has been released before in '97. And then the B-side, though, is Introducing Drums, Drops, and Scratches, which is unreleased. So I had to get it. Nice little 7. Love that artwork, obviously, from back in the day. And then this was the record I was there to pick up that I had ordered. That's Duster Stratosphere. This is the reissue on Numero Group, which I think they did in 2019. Not sure when this was originally released, but it's, I don't know, I guess they call it slowcore. I really dig the guitars. The vocals and the drums are kind of buried in the mix. I don't know if that's just depressing or not. I don't have anything to compare it to. But the guitars are up front and sound really good. And I really dig them. Some of this reminds me of Slint a little bit, not a lot, but that's not a bad thing. And yeah, Duster Stratosphere, really good album. This copy's a little bit dish-warped, so not Numero Group's finest hour, I would say. So, I don't know, I might take it back to Scott. We'll see. It sounds good. It plays fine, but it's not the best record I've gotten from Numero Group. Let's just say that. Next, I was very pleased to see this in the bins. This has been on my want list, and it's a different copy than what I had on my want list. It's Quentin Tarantino's The Hateful Eight, original music composed and orchestrated by Ennio Morricone from Italy, and one of his phenomenal works later in his career before he passed. And this is a double LP. I love this movie. It's one of my favorites from Tarantino. Gatefold. Really nice inner sleeves. The records are, this was in the used for super cheap, so I had to grab it. I mean, it was basically a third of what it costs. So I was very, very happy to pick that up. There's a lot of stuff on here too. There's a track there's Apple Blossom from the White Stripes is on here as well, and a couple other songs. The song that there's a Roy Orbison song on here. Hateful Eight, really. This is the UK version on Decca, because the US copy I think was Third Man Records, because the White Stripes being on there. But this is a different cover. I like the other cover art better, but for $15 I was grabbing that. Next in the bag, let's see. I'd seen that they had gotten a restock of this in, Entering the Dragon from Keith Hudson. Killer reggae, from 1974 originally. This is the 2011 reissue on Sunspot out of the UK, who do a great job with their reissues, and they've, I think, reissued almost the entire Keith Hudson catalog. But yeah, Entering the Dragon, this is a classic. It's been talked about quite a bit lately in the VC, so I won't go into it too much, but phenomenal vocalist, guitarist, killer lineup on this. Yeah, it's always got a cool insert with a lot of history on some of his singles releases. They're on the Embodiments label, which I actually have a few of those originals that I've been able to get from Carolina Soul, usually. And well, there's another shop in New York too that does a lot of reggae, and I forget the name. So that one, stoked to grab that. And then did not plan on running across these and couldn't leave them behind. So the last records out of the bag are the Oi, the album. various artists comp. And that one's from 1980, and then from 81, Strength Through Oi. And these are both original UK pressings. And the covers are not in the best of shape, but the records are barely played, if at all. I couldn't believe it. They were priced accordingly, but you know, everything. Original bag, original yellow labels. Oh yeah, this one's on EMI Records. I'm looking for some of the French Oi records too, that are various artists. Those I hadn't seen anywhere except online overseas. But yeah, this one's got the Exploited, who are really good. Postmen, the Foreskins. Who named the band the Foreskins? Fantastic. Cocksparrow. Yeah, the Exploited stuff's really good. Max Splodge. That one's a classic. Yeah, it says do not pay more than £3.99 for this record. And it was more than that. So I gotta give some shit to Scott for that. And then yeah, this one, Strength Through Oi, another original. Foreskins on here. Toy Dolls are on here. Their stuff's really good. Cocksparrow again. Riot. Yeah, there's a lot of good shit on here. Always great band photos. But yeah, this one, this jacket's really kind of screwed up on this one, but again, original bag, and this is the original on the blue label. And this is a different. This was not on EMI. For some reason. This one's on. This one was pressed. I think this one was pressed in Germany, but it's a UK issue. I think this is on Durham. I could be wrong, but it's killer. And so yeah, that's what's been going on over here on the turntable. Hope you're well. Peace.